What's going on, everybody? I cut my hair. It's not anything crazy, but I did it myself. I cut all of my stuff off, but I had to change it up for the 21st. You know what I mean? 21st, gotta start acting like a grown man. I cut my hair, and I feel good. I feel okay. And but today I want to talk about failure not being the end of the road. I feel like we have this weird misconception where we just feel some type of way when we fail. Like, I failed so many things in my life and I feel terrible every time that I fail, but recently I failed and failed and failed, but I've only gotten excited. I've only gotten excited for the things that I'm failing at, because I know at the end of the road, as long as I don't give up, that there is actually no failure. Now, I've written down a lot of points. I'm gonna kind of read off of them. It's just really basic stuff, but I want you guys to understand that failure is really the beginning of the road, right? When you fail, it's not the end. When you fail, it's really just a small portion of the total journey that you walk. Let's say you're climbing a mountain, and as you're climbing the mountain, you fall, right? You slip on a rock. Do you turn back just because you slipped on a rock? No, right? You don't. That would be a waste. You walk up half the mountain, and then you fall, and then it hurts, but you're still okay to walk. And then you turn back. Does that make any sense? No. So you have to view the mountain and you climbing the mountain as your life. You have to get to the top of the peak. If you turn around because you fell a few times, that would be such a waste of the journey. It would make no sense. So you have to use failure as a stepping stone. You have to use failure in a way where, as you're going, as you're failing, it becomes a bigger reason for you to continue and to get to the top of the mountain, right? As you're climbing, you fall, but you continue to climb over and over and over again. And when you get to the top of the mountain, you can look down and see, oh, I fell so many times, but this view was worth it. And you can't have that if you turn around and you go back to the bottom of the mountain. Now, the mountain's just a good example because it's hard to climb a mountain, and I actually want to climb a few mountains. Next year, I'm planning on going to Colorado. I'm going to stay in Colorado for like a month, and I'm going to climb, I think, 3 mountains, 14-foot mountains, and that's going to be super fun. But I'm actually going to go to Arizona soon for roughly 6 months, and I'm going to actually climb one mountain. I don't know how many mountains there are over there, but I'm going to climb one mountain, and that's going to be like my starter kind of thing. But that's not what this video is about. But yeah. So one of the points that I also wrote down was that you don't want to allow your failures to bury you in despair, right? And a lot of times that's what happens to people. When people want to give up, it's because they've allowed their failures up until that point to basically bury them in their emotions, in their feelings of sadness, and their feelings that they themselves are the failures. But failing at something doesn't make you a failure. You have to understand that. Failure is really more of a teacher than it is a thing. It's not something you have to conform to. You never actually fail at anything. You really are just getting taught. You're learning from your failures. It's like when you take a test, right? Like, the school system has taught us so very well that failure is a terrible thing, but failure is not a terrible thing. It's actually the best teacher. How many times have you guys, I don't know if anyone has done this before, but whenever I've taken like a super easy test, like not even an easy test, but I've taken like a test and it's like super irrelevant, right? So, but you could take the test multiple times. When I took the test the first time, right? I took the test the first time, I failed. And I took the test the second time, and then I got some of the answers that I missed the last time correct. And then I took it again and I got everything correct, right? At that point, I wasn't thinking of failure as a negative thing. I was thinking of failure as something that I can just do and then get better at, right? That's how you have to view failure. You have to view failure as something that is teaching you how to get better at the thing in which you are failing at, right? Don't view failure as a negative thing. It's not negative. It's a teacher. It's a teacher that is teaching you how to go about your life and how to get to the next stage, how to get to the top of the mountain. That's what failure is, right? Now, I like to use the Bible in many different examples because the Bible has so many different examples, so many good examples. One of the examples that I wanted to use is in the Bible, it talks about how a righteous man may fall 7 times, but he will also get up 7 times. That's how you have to have the person. That's the mentality you have to have when it comes to failure. No matter how many times you fail at something, you must get up over and over and over again. If you start a business and you fail for the 10th or the 100th time, if this is your calling in life, if this is the destiny that you want to conform to, you have to accept that fact and you have to continue on and get up over and over and over again. No matter how many times you fail, even if you're exhausted, even if you burn out, if it is your destiny, you have to continue. And you cannot allow the idea of failure to stop you from continuing on and pushing forward. Because the moment you stop, the moment you allow and succumb, you allow failure to consume you and you succumb to failure, or the pressure of failure, is really the moment that you actually become a failure, right? And I like to say that there is no failure, but there is no such thing as failure but death, right? You don't ever lose until you die, right? If you are still alive and you have breath in your chest, right, and you have a heartbeat and your brain is able to function, you have not lost. You are not a failure because you can always turn the tides. So there is no such thing as failure. And if you rise up every single time that you fail, you'll never be a failure. You never can be a failure. Now, one of the next points that I have is none of your losses are truly losses unless you decide to give up altogether, which is kind of what we just talked about, how the only time you're losing or you actually lose is when you die, right? They're not anything till the time of your death, when your story is literally over. You can't do anything again, right? Up until that point, nothing is a loss. Nothing is a failure, right? You may have messed up at some things, but you did not fail because you have another shot at doing what it is that you were trying or striving to achieve, right? If I want to become the richest man in the world, I have up until the day that I die to achieve that goal. And until that time where I'm dead, I cannot call myself a failure and I cannot say that I have not achieved my goal. Until the breath has been sapped out of my lungs, I cannot say that I am a failure. Because that's not how this world works, okay? You have a shot, you have a chance, so take the chance and don't stop. Now, my next one is, you cannot allow anyone, this is a big one, to tell you you're a failure. And you have to stand up for yourself and fight for your own victory. Now, for me, this is not necessarily that big for me, but it is kind of big because you'll have people who have their own opinions on the things that you're doing, have their own your point of views, or want to tell you how wrong you are or whatever, right? That is basically the equivalent of telling you that what you're doing is wrong, right? What you're doing is not correct, and you're a failure. Now, someone might not go out and tell you you're a failure. Now, some people will, some people won't. But most people won't tell you you're a failure. They'll just imply that you're a failure, right? And you cannot allow that to consume you mentally, because if that can consume you mentally, you'll only start thinking that you are a failure. And when you start thinking that you are a failure, you oftentimes become what you think about. If I believe I'm a failure, if I believed I was a failure and I was rich and successful, then most likely at the end of the day, I would lose that money and I would become unsuccessful because I believed in my heart that I was a failure. So when you allow someone to penetrate your armor and you allow someone to knock down your personality or your journey or your destiny, you allow them to project upon you what you should become, then and only then do you become an actual failure. Right? But you have to stay strong. You have to keep your armor on, and you cannot allow anyone's outside opinions or perspectives or point of views to deter you from your path. Now, of course, there are some destructive paths that you should not be on, of course. Now, of course, that's just basic knowledge. But if your path isn't destructive, right, at least maybe not at a chaotic way, right? Maybe your path is a little destructive, but you have to destroy yourself in order to get where you're going. That's fine. But as long as it's morally acceptable, as long as your path will lead you down a good ending, or the ending that you are supposed to be at, right? The ending that God desires for you, essentially, right? Don't allow anyone's opinions to deter you from your path, because again, it is their destiny. Their destiny is their own. Your destiny is your own. This is your life going this way, and this is their life going this way. And this point, right? Say this is their path, boom, and then yours. Only at one point do you guys meet. Now, if you allow them going this way to make you go from this way to this way, or just allow them to deter you, your goal is here. You'll go here, and then you'll go here, and then maybe you'll go back, and then someone else does the same thing and you'll go here, and then you'll never ever reach your destiny because you're going here, right? You meet this person here and you allow them to change your course and allow them to take you here and then somewhere else when you need to be here, but now you're over here. You need to be here and you're over here because you allowed someone to deter you on your path or your ascent to the top of the mountain. The last thing I want to say about this, about failure not being the end, is that you have to enjoy the moments in which you fail. You have to enjoy the pain. You have to enjoy the bad situations. You have to enjoy, because at some point in your life, you won't have as many failures, right? At some point in your life, the failures will be minimized to nothing, or something insignificant, or something that you do not feel as much, right? And you'll be looking for failure. A lot of people do this when they have it's like their midlife crisis, but it's not a midlife crisis, right? Because you wouldn't call that a midlife crisis, but a lot of people have it where at some point in their life, everything is going good, well, positive. And then they look for negative things to add into their life. Even if it's subconscious, they look for those things. And they try to add those things to stimulate their life, to give them some sort of something to just do something, right? They create this synthetic failure or this synthetic something just to add some stimulation to their life, or to make their life not as boring. And you need to enjoy the failures now so that you can enjoy the success even more later, because then you'll realize that what you've accomplished and what you have today was worth every single ounce of blood, sweat, and tears. So you have to enjoy the failure. You cannot not enjoy it. And when you enjoy it, the success becomes so much more valuable. And you won't end up looking for these synthetic failures, these instances where during your time of prosperity, you're looking for times of scarcity. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. It's, let me know, of course, if I had any decent points, or if it even made any sense. You know what I mean? Sometimes I could just say things and they might not even make any sense. So you guys let me know if anything I said, resonated or anything. And I hope you watched to this point. I hope you got something from the video, and I hope you like and subscribe, or I will find you. I will find you. Because I have a particular set of skills. I will find you. If you know the movie, you know the movie, but whatever. I appreciate you guys, and take care. Bye.